This is the third and final part of Canadian Provinces and Territories series. Today in this video, we are going to look at the three territories: Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Canadian territories have the most amazing landscape, such as icefield, mountains, desert, lakes, islands, and hot springs. It is also a playground for incredible array of wild animals. The Arctic Circle passes through the territories, making it a great place to view the northern light. If you have thought Canada's north is covered in snow year-round and you have to wear a heavy jacket and boots to step outside, you are in for a surprise. Whatever assumption you may have about North is probably not true. So let's dive in and see what these places are made of. It is no secret that majority of Canadians don't know much about these territories. Even the mainstream media and news reporters make mistake when they are reporting about the North. Get this, you can fly directly to northern cities from Frankfurt, but there are no direct flights from Toronto or Montreal, Canada's largest cities. It's a shame. A study commissioned by the Churchill Northern Studies Centre found that only 14% of Canadians visited these territories at least once. Full disclosure, I haven't been to North either, but I'm hoping to go once in winter and once in summer. Canada has done so little to develop this northern economy and overlooked so many opportunities. There are no four-season roads to Canada's Arctic shores. The only railroad is falling apart. The only deep water port was closed about 5 years ago, and there are no plans for new one. It is not easy for many of us to fly as there are only a handful of direct flights. Arctic regions of Norway, Sweden and Finland are 1/30th of the size of Canada's north. Yet each of their northern economies are triple the size of Canada's north. In fact, according to data collected by Finnish economists, the Canadian Arctic make up quarter of a circumpolar region, but the economic production account for less than 2% of the region. People across the north are welcoming, friendly and enjoy a relaxed, culturally rich lifestyle. However, lack of development and investment in education has created serious social problems. Unemployment rate, crime rate, and homicide rates are higher than the other provinces. Insufficient health infrastructure make it all worse. The infant mortality rate in Canada's Arctic is twice as Alaska's and 3 times as the Canadian average. Suicide rate among the Inuit are 4 times higher than the Alaskan natives and 11 times higher than the southern Canadians. But Canada's north is not without resources or opportunities. It has minerals, lots of them, but need infrastructure to make them valuable. As climate change opened up the Northwest Passage, Canada could develop a shipping industry, perhaps a commercial fishing industry. North is beautiful. Ecotourism and adventure tourism are on the rise globally. Canada could take advantage of that. Canada doesn't take advantage of these opportunities. Other nations will. It's a shame that Canada's north is not developed. But I don't think it's intentional. Canada is the second largest country in the world, and there are a lot more places to develop before the development reaches the north. To make it worse, only 113,000 people live in all three territories. That is less than 1/3 of 1% of Canadian population. So the democracy doesn't work for them either. I have been lumping together all three territories as one area, although they have some commonalities, but these three territories are geographically, culturally, and demographically distinct. Let's look at each one of them, starting with the most western territory, Yukon. Yukon is bordered by Alaska, British Columbia, and Northwest Territories. It is the smallest of Canada's three territories with an area of 482,000 square kilometers. It is also the least populated of all provinces and territories in Canada, with a population of about 35,000 people. Most of them, about 70% of them, are European descent, and only 20% of them are First Nations. Whitehorse is the territory's capital. It is the largest settlement of any of the three territories with about 25,000 people. It's because of the city's location in the Whitehorse Valley and relative proximity to the Pacific Ocean. The climate is milder than the other northern communities. Average summer temperatures ranges between 8 to 21 degrees Celsius, and the winter temperatures are between -19 to -11 degrees Celsius. Yukon is a fascinating place. Let's look at some interesting places. Mount Logan is the highest mountain in Canada with about 5,959 meters and is the second highest in North America. Carcross Desert is the world's smallest desert. It covers the area of 2.6 square kilometers. It is an unlikely place to have a desert, don't you agree? The longest land mammal migration doesn't happen in Africa. It happens in Yukon. About 200,000 porcupine caribous embark on a journey every year and travel more than 1,300 kilometers. There are so much forest in Yukon, but the signpost forest in Watson Lake has one of the largest sign collection from around the world. This signal post forest is an interesting place. At last count, there are about 100,000 signs, including the original sign from Berlin, Moscow, Dublin, and Hawaii. Yukon economy is the smallest in Canada with about $3 billion. The leading industry is by far mining. Lead, zinc, silver, gold, and copper are principal minerals. Tourism is the second most important industry. The area's colorful history and beautiful sceneries draw visitors. Manufacturing has increasing with the furniture product, clothing, and handcraft. More than a quarter of available workforce work for governments. Whitehorse International Airport serves as a major transportation hub, and it has a direct flight from few Canadian cities and Frankfurt. Let's move on to the next territory, Northwest Territories. Northwest Territories are the third largest of all provinces and territories in terms of total land area with over 1.3 million square kilometers. It is the most populous of the three territories with a population of 41,700 people. About 40% of them are European descent, 30% First Nation, and 10% Inuit. Capital and the largest city is Yellowknife. About half of the territory's population live in Yellowknife. Yellowknife has a good nickname, Diamond Capital of North America, as most of Canadian diamonds are mined in the three mines closer to Yellowknife. According to meteorologists, Yellowknife enjoys more summer times than any other city in Canada. Yellowknife is located on the shores of Great Slave Lake, the deepest lake in North America with a depth of about 613 meters. It is the 10th biggest lake in the world and the second largest lake completely within Canada. Almost 600 kilometers southwest of Great Slave Lake, you will find the Great Bear Lake. It's the largest lake entirely within Canada. So the largest and the second largest lake entirely within Canada is located in Northwest Territories. Interesting, huh? There are quite a few interesting things about Northwest Territories. Let's look at a few. Have you seen the History Channel show Ice Road Truckers? The show was originally filmed on the ice roads of Northwest Territories, home to the world's longest ice road. This 1400 kilometer road connect the highways to mines and many remote communities in the wintertime. If you haven't watched the show, it's pretty interesting. Wood Buffalo National Park is Canada's largest national park and the second largest in the world. It is as big as Switzerland. Beavers were very busy and built the world's largest beaver dam in this park. This park was created to protect one of the world's largest herd of free-roaming wood bisons. We know the Northwest Territory has vast glaciers, mountains and forests. But did you know there are 19 known hot springs in there too? And some of them can reach up to 30 degrees Celsius. The Thompson River in Northwest Territory is considered the furthest north navigable lake on the planet. Northwest Territory has lots of interesting places to explore, and some of them are really unique just for Northwest Territories. Let's go see how they are doing financially. GDP is about 4.5 billion. But get this territory has the highest GDP per capita of all the provinces and territories. It's over 100,000 Canadian dollars. Economy relies heavily on resource industries. Mining is by far the largest private sector industry. Northwest Territory is geologically rich with gold, diamond, natural gases and petroleum. Northwest Territory's diamonds are promoted as alternative to purchasing blood diamonds. However, the diamond production is winding down. 2 out of 3 mines are scheduled to close in this decade. Fishing, hunting, trapping and fur trade play a small part in the economy. Government is already looking into possibility of maybe developing agriculture and a commercial fishing industry. In the recent years, at least before the pandemic, tourism was increasing, especially during the winter. Many international visitors go to Yellowknife to watch the auroras, the northern light. How do you like Northwest Territories? Do you want to go? For now, let's go check out the next territory, Nunavut. Nunavut is the Arctic Kingdom and the newest territory of Canada. Nunavut is the largest and the northmost territory with over 2 million square kilometers in area. It includes all those 36,000 islands in the Arctic archipelago. Baffin Island in the Arctic archipelago is the 5th largest island in the world and the largest one in Canada. The landscape of this island is very interesting. It has mountain ranges, glaciers and ice cap called Penny Ice Cap. Certainly worth a trip for a scenery and the wildlife. Nunavut is the second least populous of all Canadian provinces and territories with a population of almost 36,000 people. It is one of the world's most remote and thinly populated area. Most of them are Inuit, about 85%, and 12% of them are European Canadians. Nunavut's culture is steeped in tradition that value people, wildlife and the land. Nunavut's capital is Iqaluit, located in Baffin Island. Iqaluit has the second highest tide in Canada. Everyone knows about the big tide in Bay of Fundy, but the tide in Iqaluit reaches about 12 meters high. The sea ice literally rises and falls with the tide like a breathing chest. Did you know in Iqaluit, taxi charges a flat rate of $8 to get anywhere? There are so many interesting facts about this wonderful territory. Let's see a few. Roughly 75% of the Naval population migrate to Nunavut. They seem to like the shallow bays closer to the Arctic islands. If you have thought the world's northmost civilization live in Siberia, let me tell you, no, it's in Nunavut. The world's northmost permanent inhabited place is called Alert. It's a Canadian naval station and it has a permanent population of 50 to 60 people. Nunavut is only reachable by air or sea. There are no roads to Nunavut. However, The entire territory has about 32 kilometers of paved road, but still no traffic signal. To get out to other communities, people either use boats or planes or snowmobile in the winter time. You may have seen this Inuit sleigh dog in the movies or TV shows, right? They are still alive and well. The dogs are perfectly adapted to the Arctic climate and love to run, and people still use them. You can only find trees in the southern part of Nunavut, especially near the border of Manitoba, but the tundra is completely tree-free. If you have been to the prairies and thought that they have big horizons, you haven't been to Nunavut. Nunavut is home to the largest land carnivore on the planet. The male polar bear clocks about 1,500 pounds and over 10 feet tall when standing. They hold the record for being the largest land carnivore, and you can see them in Nunavut. Nunavut's economy is the second smallest of all Canadian provinces and territories, with a GDP of about 3.7 billion. The economy is driven by mining of gold, silver, oil, gas, and other minerals. Arts and craft, hunting, fishing, whaling, tourism, military, and research play a small part. However, Nunavut has the second highest GDP per capita with over $95,000. We looked at all three Canadian territories. I hope you learned a little bit about these territories and what is special about them and what are their problems, right? And if you haven't watched the Canadian provinces, go check out the part 1 and part 2. I will have the link in the description. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye for now. Take care.